Welcome to Nonstop. It's the official and season show of Kirk, Herbstreit, and Joey Galloway. Your first stop for all things football, college and pro, every Monday.
All right, welcome to Nonstop, January 12th. Only have an hour. We got a lot to dig into. Joey Galloway and myself hop on, do this podcast every Monday, and we got a Mark Fletcher, starting running back of the Miami Hurricanes, who'll be joining us here in about probably 15 minutes or so. Joey and I, a lot to catch up on with the CFP, a lot to catch up on with the NFL playoffs, some great games over the weekend. I mean, every single game seemed to have drama in it, with maybe the exception of the game last night, which was, man, our guy Vrabes is just put together in 1 year. I don't know if anybody saw from where the Patriots have been to where they now are, winning their first round with Vrabes. And I know you're good buddies with him. I used to always get a kick out of you and him working out in the off season. You busting his chops, him giving it right back to you. That's just kind of his way. And the dude has created a serious culture like that in his first year with New England. It's fun to watch what he's been able to do.
It has been a lot of fun and good for him. You mentioned, just being friends with him for a long time. You sort of expected, if he can get into the right situation with the right roster, that he
right
would
quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, my gosh, Drake May has been amazing, and you see this in the NFL sometimes more so than college. You see an NFL team, like say you begin a season and you really don't know who's going to be there in the end, and he flipped that thing around, and Drake May has had an amazing season. And every time you see Vrabel on TV, don't you just think that's the Vrabes we know? Like,
oh my God, yeah,
the bloody lip after hugging the lineman.
Yeah.
That's just so fitting for him.
Yeah. He coached Jake and Ty when they were 5 or 6 years old with his son Tyler. He was still playing at the time with the Patriots, and he coached them. You can just imagine. Get your asses over here. Come over here.
Yeah.
Sit down right here. Let's go. And the kids were like, everyone else was, good try, Johnny. You're playing. And Braves like, let's go over here. I mean, exactly the way he's coaching the Patriots. It's all he knows. That's all he knows, and the players really feel that he's one of them. But he's also does a good job of separating himself. He's like, we're all in this together, but it's a clear, defined line between, hey, I'm the coach, this is what we're going to do. But at the same time, I think he understands the player's perspective probably better than anybody. But that one really stood out. The 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, he's had such a good run as the head coach at San Fran. What he's been faced with this year without Bosa, without Fred Warner in the middle of that defense, really two of the alphas of the defense. Brock Purdy, I think he's played maybe half
going
the
down
games.
for some games.
Yeah. I mean,
I like to count Kyle Shanahan in my coaching tree.
Yeah,
he was a young man with the Buccaneers under John Gruden.
Oh, okay.
When I was there, and at that time he was a GA, and so to see him grow from where he was then, a GA in Tampa. Sean McVay, also another guy in my coaching tree, was also a GA in Tampa when I was there under Gruden.
That's crazy.
Young guys. And so I would spend a lot of time with those guys, and going over offense and talking the way things work. To see him, both guys, honestly, him and Sean McVay, go from when they were just young kids.
That's incredible. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was. It's an amazing group of guys that were there when I was there. Like Mike Tomlin he's a defensive coach there. That tree is amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we could all agree that Shanahan's had some great years. He's already been to Super Bowls, but I think this year probably his best year coaching because of what they have faced and how, they end up the year 11-5. They get to the playoffs. They got to go on the road to Philly. Always a tough environment until you get a 3-and-out and they boo their home team in the playoffs at defending Super Bowl champs. That's always fun.
Did they win the Super Bowl last year?
Yeah.
Because when people talk about them, you would think that they've been down for a long time.
Oh my gosh.
You would literally think they were the Cincinnati Bengals. When you hear people talk about this team 1 year later, and Jalen Hurts is a terrible quarterback.
Oh,
And
everything's terrible.
It's pretty crazy. And we joked before about Ryan Day not winning it again this year after winning last year. You just don't get a pass. It is year to year. You can go from
it's play to play, series to series.
Yeah, you can go from a genius with a great team that wins a Super Bowl to the very next season. These guys don't understand football. They don't know what they got. They didn't run the ball well this season. It's just amazing how that happens.
Yeah. But I think Shanahan's best job as a coach. They're not done yet. They still obviously have a game next weekend. We'll see how that goes. Bills and Jaguars. We keep thinking, is this the year for Josh Allen? Lamar Jackson isn't in there. Patrick Mahomes isn't in there. Burrow's not in there. Of all the kind of the quarterbacks of this era, this is his opportunity. They had to go to Jacksonville. Really good team with Liam Cohen in their first year down there. And it just felt like a game because of the way it was going back and forth. It was going to come down to which quarterback's going to make a play, possibly win. I really thought when they did the quarterback sneak with a minute and a little more than a minute to go, I thought he might intentionally take a knee with the Jags out of timeouts, kind of work the clock down. Just I really did. I really did. But they punched it in, and
dude,
this new NFL, it just makes you nervous with the kickoff rules now and how quickly these teams can come right down and score.
Dude,
I thought they might work clock there.
Could you imagine the kahunas it would have taken to try not to score at that level of football? It is like, I think everybody's thinking, man, it'd be great if they could not score right here and maybe run some more clock. You can't take that chance. You have to score when you can score. You cannot take the chance. Say you kneel down to run the clock.
No timeouts for Jacksonville. Clocks.
And then you don't score.
Oh, yeah.
Do you imagine?
Oh,
that's why you have to take the point.
No, I get it. I just think that with the new kickoff rule and how teams potentially get the ball at the very least at the 35, maybe the 40.
Yeah.
And now you got a minute to go, and it's Trevor Lawrence with all those weapons. It makes you nervous, you know. And then
say you take a knee and don't score, and you lose the football game.
Probably gets fired.
Gets run out of town. Versus if you do score, and then Trevor Lawrence comes down and somehow finds a way to beat you. You don't get run out of town as quickly.
No, you're right.
You still get run out of town, just not as quickly. Yeah, you got to score. I thought the same thing when I saw it. I was like, man, this makes you nervous.
And Jacksonville just went like this. Here, hurry up, score.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the number one rush. I think they were number one rush defense in NFL.
Yeah.
You don't. If you can get in on that defense, you got to go and take it.
Yeah, take the points. And then on Saturday, Rams over the Panthers. That was an amazing game. It looked like, Bryce Young's finally going to have his moment. Dave Canales comes over from Tampa Bay as an OC. Really seems to be a good fit with trying to get Bryce Young's confidence up. A lot of people were ready to throw him in the trash after the first couple years.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what I mean? He's what? This bum? I mean,
terrible.
Of course, he's terrible. And then they get the right guy, really related well, got Bryce's confidence up. And listen, they didn't have a great year, but they did enough to be able to get into the postseason, win their division, and playing at home because they won their division against, I think, a team that has the potential with Stafford to go all the way to the Super Bowl. And they had them beat, and until Stafford pulls some magic once again and they get out of there 34-31. That was all these NFL games, just an amazing game.
That was amazing. The crazy thing about the NFL, so the Panthers go, I think, 8-8, get into the playoffs. Now, an 8-8 can feel like a terrible
8-9.
season.
It's 17 games. Were they 9-8 or 8? I think they might have been 8-9. I can't remember.
8-9. Yes. Yeah. Think about that. 8-9, you get in. The difference between 8-9 and squeaking your way into the playoff feels completely different if you're in a different division where 8-9 doesn't get you in. I mean, like 8-9 will get you fired.
Yeah.
If you don't get in. But in the one of the years that it just works out that your division, the Buccaneers, the Saints, the Falcons, you just get in at 8-9 and you almost knock off the Rams.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
you almost take down the
Had
Rams.
him.
It's
Had
you
him.
absolutely had them. It's
And then the
crazy how
game,
that works.
the game I had in Chicago with the Packers and the Bears, that was, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you always say, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this, but
Yeah,
Green Bay could have done whatever they wanted in the first
absolutely.
half. I
Yeah,
mean, they had 4 possessions in the first half, 3 touchdowns, and the only reason they didn't score on the 4th possession is because they were running out of time and tried a field goal. He misses it. It was just like, do whatever you want to do on offense. And you come out, and by the way, Chicago, nothing on offense. Couldn't do
nothing at all.
anything. And what in the heck happens? And not to mention Green Bay, after those 4 possessions in the first half, they get the ball to start the second half. And they go
Yeah,
3 and out, kind of set a tone there.
you
Bears,
start stacking those 3-and-outs.
yes,
And
yeah,
listen, it had to feel the same, sort of the same as Oklahoma, Alabama. Sort
yeah,
of the same feeling of Oklahoma, whatever they wanted to do. They got up
yeah,
17-0. And you need
yeah,
a play, a spark, a defense starts getting you some 3-and-outs.
yeah,
I still, even though it felt like it was starting to crumble for Green Bay, I still felt like they were going to make the plays
yeah,
they needed to make.
yeah.
And
Dude,
when
I'm telling you, that
Caleb
stadium,
Williams, like,
oh
oh
my
my
God.
gosh,
I don't even know what to say. I mean, he's come so far of playing in structure, which is
yes,
new for him.
hmm
And he's trying so hard not to be the guy that come off primary and just go be
yeah,
Caleb
yeah,
Williams.
doesn't
He's
work in
trying
that league.
so hard to like, because Ben Johnson's very demanding and like, no, 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 dude, listen, you're gonna approach this within this system. We're gonna go progression reads first, second, third. I'm gonna get people open. It's my
hmm
job as a play caller. Your job is to trust and just now. If you go 1, 2, 3, 4, then you want to go be Caleb Williams. Cool, but not 1. Go be Caleb Williams, right? And so he's
Yeah,
trying so hard to be that guy. And then when the chips were on the table and they're down and they need some magic, that 4th down throw for the
rolling
one of the
left.
rolling left,
Yeah, amazing.
Adunze's on the right. He's in panic mode. Adunze gets all, and you can appreciate this as a receiver. He sees he's in panic mode, and he just starts to look around, try to find where he can go to help, and ends up coming all the way over behind the corner. And he's like
hmm
throws a fadeaway, 4th and 10, just up in the air, over one guy in front of another. Like if
Yeah,
there was a trash can down on the field about 20 yards, 25 yards down. Imagine doing a drill where you're just like, okay, now drop back and then act like you're getting pressure, then roll to your left, and just kind of throw it and try to put it in that trash can. See if you can
hmm
do that. And he did.
and he
And he
he
did.
absolutely did. Yep, he absolutely. It's easier in the NFL level for a quarterback who is a natural off schedule guy to get on schedule when he trusts his play caller. When he
Mhm.
trusts the play caller and you realize, oh my gosh, he told me that this guy would be open, and this guy's actually open.
Mhm.
He showed me in practice against our scout team and on film that if I just do this, it's going to be successful. The difference in good play callers at the NFL level versus guys that aren't great at play calling, I don't think that's given enough credit because it makes or breaks quarterbacks. There's only a few guys at that level
Think
that
about that.
truly operate
Wow.
an entire system.
Wow.
The other guys need help. And that's when you're like Patrick Mahomes, call a play, he comes up, he's reading the entire field. It may not even be the play, but I see a matchup I like. I'm going to
Mhm.
go there. And then that's a trust of a play caller in your quarterback that he can do whatever he wants. I trust him. The other way around, especially with young quarterbacks, they have to trust the play caller. And when the play caller has success and they're like, oh my gosh, that is what he told me I would see. And now I'm seeing it. That's the quarterback now trusting the play caller saying, I don't have to get off schedule. What
Mhm.
he told me would be on schedule is actually the play on schedule. Then you mix in the athleticism to do the play that we just talked about. And then you're going to another level that is like, how do we stop these guys now? Because the play caller's on fire, the quarterback is comfortable. and you add that extra level of athleticism.
Yeah, that's all really fascinating to hear that from you. I would add to that imagine since 6th grade, and think about your son, since 6th grade,
Mhm.
he's able to improvise. He's always the
Yep.
best athlete on the field. So 6th
Absolutely.
grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade. He's playing varsity football in 9th grade at a really good, prestigious program. Still making plays. And then he gets to a point where he gets to college, Oklahoma, USC. These are big time. He's still able to be Caleb Williams. Goes to his rookie year, still trying to be Caleb Williams. His whole life. Best athlete on the field, listen to coaching. Yeah, I'll take that into consideration. I'm going to just go be me. I've been able to do that my whole life. And then this year, you know how hard this was for him to not just,
I can imagine.
It's like, again, learning how to walk differently. It's just so hard to do that. And
you find out at that level will teach you one quick lesson is in college, you make one guy miss, you get X amount, you can do some things. And I had to learn it also. And I was always the fastest guy on the field, but I also had to learn that making the one guy miss, there's another one coming, and then there's another one coming. The 250, 60-pound guys are still coming, no matter what. And for these quarterbacks that can run around in college, that's one of the first lessons they learn is that defensive end is as fast as I am, if not faster. That other defensive end is also faster. And those linebackers, they all run just as fast as I do. So I can't just outrun these guys all the time. You learn that at that level quickly. Yeah, everybody out here is pretty doggone fast. You just can outrun them.
And I just want to tip my cap to the Chicago Bears fan base. I mean, there were some that were just, they were looking at, they were so excited to finally have a home playoff game and think they had a shot, and they're down 21-6 or whatever. It felt like 100-6.
Yeah, felt terrible.
They hung in there. They got back in the game. The team responded to them. I've never seen a stadium come alive like that and impact a game. And then when they won it all, it was just, it's cool. Indiana's fan base and the Chicago Bears fan base kind of remind me that they're so hungry, so appreciative of having a team that's winning and competitive. I'm reacting like that, by the way. I'm not cheering for anybody. I'm cheering for the moment. I was just like, I flipped my pen up like, how great is this sport? How great is this moment? Like, I had no idea my son Ty is even filming me. I was just standing next to Al. We're calling this. I'm like, oh my God, what is he doing? Like he fumbles the snap. Love. He picks it up. He goes over here. None of the receivers really worked with him. Everyone's covered. There's 8 guys back there in the end zone in defensive coverage. Really nowhere to go with the ball. And he's just like, he's moving. He's doing, I'm moving with him. And then he throws it up and I think it might have been picked off. I can't remember what happened to the ball. But to see Soldier Field come alive like that, let's transition from that to what we saw with Indiana. We've seen it really the whole year. We thought, okay, in a rematch with Oregon, how are they going to be? Are they going to be okay? First play of the game, pick 6 by Pons, sets the tone.
Yeah.
They just, from the outset, it was just forget about they're going to lose their aggression because of all these pats on the back. They just came out. This play right here, Dante Moore throws it out in the flat. Pons picks it off. First play. And there was maybe, if you eliminated the family and friends and the Oregon band, there might have been 17 Oregon fans outside of family and friends in the building. Indiana, I've never seen a quote unquote neutral site at a big bowl game. Look at that. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
With the exception of this little corner, or the other corner where the Oregon band is, there's just nobody. There's that little corner over there where the band and the families are. Other than that, I mean, good for Indiana. This is such a cool story to watch what they're doing. Miami going back home. They have obviously a massive win. They had to work for it. That game seems like that was a month ago. Ole Miss and Miami. You were there for that one as well. Could not have asked for much more from this game and the way those two teams fought back and forth. Just tremendous. To see both these teams advance, and it's going to be a hell of a scene next Monday night in Miami.
Yeah, this is going to be good. And so it's interesting because you just mentioned how the Indiana fans have traveled. So now basically what's about to happen here is they're coming to a Miami home game. It's going to be interesting to see how this stadium is broken down fan-wise, because you're going
Miami's
to Miami.
home game. Yeah,
and I know these Indiana fans are scratching and clawing to get into this stadium.
I think Indiana's going to bring 200,000 people down to the state of Florida in South Florida. Honestly, I don't know how many are going to get in.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. How many they get in? They're going to be there.
I think it'll be 60-40 Indiana. 60-40 Indiana is my guess.
Inside the stadium.
Inside, because I think Miami fans want to be there for their team, but I think some of them are going to be like, you're going to give me how much? How much?
Look, you're saying loyalty has its price?
Well,
is that what you're telling me? Is loyalty has its price?
You take my 4. I guess you got 4 tickets. Honestly, I swear. I mean, Miami loves their team, but at some point,
Miami fans do not.
I mean,
let this
bro.
happen.
It's going to be in Indiana's. You think it's 50-50? You think it's 60-40 Miami?
I'm going 60-40 Miami.
Wow,
it's at home,
bro. I don't care,
Herbie. If you're a Miami fan,
yeah,
you can't let this happen. You can't let it happen.
Well, I'm excited to see. It's going to be exciting. Okay, Bear is chirping in here. We appreciate Bear.
Yeah, Bear.
You have no idea the juice. Good. Then that means he knows the fan base of Miami better than anybody. He's saying that Miami will not sell their tickets. Good. I love it. They should have a 60-40 advantage. I'm just saying there's a lot of red coming down there. I don't know how many are going to get in there, but they're going to take
I agree with Bear
over.
I agree with Bear. They have more pride than to sell their tickets. But my gosh, it's going to be fun to see, because you're right. It's going to be tough to pass. How much are you?
That's what I'm saying. Somebody told me that a ticket in a like a lower level, like between the 20s, and Bear maybe knows this. Someone told me like $20,000 for some of these tickets. I haven't looked. I have no idea how that works.
You got the Mark Cubans of the world. They might stroke that check, but I mean,
yeah,
dude. Hey man, Bear, I'm with you. Hold on, Miami fans. Don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, Bear says he's seen up to $25,000 a ticket.
I would sell.
That's what I'm saying. That isn't a knock on Miami to say that they don't love their team. It's nothing like that. I'm just saying at some point, what?
They got to hold on. I would not, but they got to hold on.
Would you hold on for 4 Ohio State tickets? Somebody said, "Hey Joey, those 4 seats you got at the 40, I'll give you $100,000 for those 4."
They can have my tickets and one of my kids. Throw Peter in there. They can have Peter. That's one of my kids. Peter, my 4 tickets. Parking pass. Sold.
That's what I'm telling you. It's not a reflection that Miami doesn't love their team. It's a reflection that Indiana is driving the tickets up.
I'm not saying you just said
you would sell.
I'm not saying they're as soft as me. I'm one kid, Peter, 4 tickets.
No Peter.
$100,000 out the door. Throw Peter in there.
You're throwing Peter in there.
You got 4 dogs. Throw Peter.
No, not happening. Not happening. Well, it's going to be a scene. We're fired up for the opportunity. We're going to hop in with Mark Fletcher, who's been one of the catalyst leaders of this Miami Hurricane team. It's been so much fun to watch him over the years within this offense, and especially this year. As physical of a run game, that's their kind of their identity. Joey, is the line of scrimmage. You knew that when Mario Cristobal took over, that they were going to try to be a team that could win up front. And when you have a dominant offensive line and you have a dominant back, and really a couple backs, you kind of get what you see, and that's their identity. And I think a lot of people want to say, how is Indiana, who's been so good against the run? That's been a strength of theirs. Brian Haynes, their defensive coordinators, come up with different schemes. They've had injuries to deal with up front themselves, and they've been able to overcome that with Stephen Daly going down. But I think a lot of people just want to see Fletch and this offensive line against Indiana and kind of see how that'll play out. I know you are excited about that as well.
Yeah, the offensive line from Miami seems to be taking a lot of pride. And I've had a chance to watch more in the playoffs because I've just been there at the games. And it seems like they're taking a lot of pride in this run game right now.
Yeah.
And here he is. And another guy that's just been – it probably doesn't get enough credit for this run and what Mark Fletcher Jr. has meant to it. So we keep talking about the pass game and what they've done. But Mark Fletcher Jr., welcome to the program.
Appreciate y'all for having me. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good. Congrats on what's going on right now. I mean, this is what probably you envisioned, your teammates envisioned. What's it when you envision something and then it becomes a reality? What has that been like to experience this for you and for your teammates?
Just a dream come true. That's all I can say. But we put in all the hard work and we just blessed for this opportunity, and it became a reality. That's all it is.
When you were kind of coming up in this program and you saw the pieces kind of being, especially with the portal and how quickly things can change, what if you go back to the summer camp and this team kind of putting it together, what was standing out to you that made you think you had a good year last year, but what made you feel like, man, we can go to a whole nother level this year with the players that we have?
I feel like just the fact that every single person was just willing to buy in. Everybody was just willing to buy in, put their, on their own accolades that they have for themselves to the side, and just sacrifice for the man next to you. And that's what every single person just been constantly doing. And we knew that with doing that, it could just lead to something so beautiful, which is why we're in this position right now.
Let me ask you something before Joey hops in. How do you do that? How do you do when everybody's NIL and social media and it's all about the individual brand? How do you create team? Because Indiana's done it, you've done it. I think it's a big part of the reason you're both there. How, if you were going to give a seminar to other coaches and other teams, how do you create that? Because I know you're a big part of that.
Yes, sir. I feel like it really can't come from the coaches. It really can't. It has to be, within the team. Like you have to have your leaders step up. And you got to emphasize it just every single day. And when you showing up every single day, emphasizing that message, because it's hard to do. It's definitely hard to do and get people, coming along with it, all the young guys. But if you just continue to stay consistent with that message every single day, having some people, having the leaders, just keep on doing it, and it'll figure itself out.
Mark, you've been around long enough to see Miami be good and then go through times when they weren't so good. Being a Florida guy, what does this mean to you to be a part of the U coming back to what we knew it to be back in the old days?
Man, it means everything to me because I grew up watching, not even grew up watching, but just learning about, the University of Miami, watching guys and I watched a lot of the defensive guys, Sean Taylor, Ed Reed, just how they approach the game, and the fact that my name is just in history, to be at the top where those guys were, it means everything to me.
How's that feel to you when you see these guys around now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I remember going through this myself when you see some of these players that you grew up watching and now they're right here watching and cheering you on. Like, how does that feel to you to just see these guys around now that you grew up watching?
It give me extra juice. Like the last game, we had Edgerrin James and Ray Lewis at the coin toss, and I'm like, man, this Ray Lewis just dapped up Ray Lewis, man. Like, bro, we gotta go out here and just stand on it. Like that's how it felt to me. Like it just gives me extra juice because these are people I really watched, and I wanted to be them. Like, I really wanted to be them. It's like, dang, I have little kids looking up to me like, oh, that's Mark Fletcher. He played for the Miami Hurricanes. Like that was me. And so, man, I'm just so grateful for this opportunity. So blessed to be in this position. not taking it for granted at all.
Mark, when we go back to the early days of Miami, and Joey and I, when we were younger, especially in middle school, high school, college, Miami was the flamboyant Miami. Miami was the team that was winning and talking trash. And as people would say Miami is back, it seemed like it was more about the trash talking than the substance when they would talk about Miami being back. Mario goes back. He was on some of those teams. He goes back to be the coach. And it seemed like he was very, very defiant almost in trying to say, I don't want to hear about the kind of the swagger and all that. We want to get back to blocking, tackling, and winning. Because those teams, what was lost because of all the trash talking was like how good they were at playing and executing. When you would hear Miami's back and the swagger's back, what inside that program as it was building up, what were you trying to establish besides all the talking that some of those teams did? You guys are more about substance to me than all the swag and all that kind of the personality.
Yeah, well, you got to have a good balance of both, right? That's what I see. A lot of people, that's what they know Miami for, the swag, sometimes they might call us thugs or anything, just how we play the game. But, yeah, Coach Mario, he hits it right on the point. Like, it's all about the substance. That's all about the substance. That's what this game is going to come down to, blocking, tackling, catching the ball, running. And, we just wanted to emphasize that. Like I said, this is all – because Mario, he does a great job just letting the team leaders just lead, letting us just lead, emphasizing. He'll tell us one thing, and we just emphasize that message to the younger guys and to the rest of the team.
What do you think when you see film on Indiana? This has been a team that – a year ago, the strength of theirs was not necessarily the line of scrimmage. Through the offseason, through just getting better. Now that is probably one of their greatest strengths is the line of scrimmage and their physicality. What stands out to you when you look at them on film, and what do you think the keys are and being able to have a big night on Monday?
Well, especially that D-line. D-line, big everywhere. They fly around, and them two linebackers, 21 and 4, those guys, they I know 4 is the leader of their defense. Great guy. He communicates in the back end. They do a great job covering and coming up the tackle. So I feel like my O-line just continue to just do what they've been doing all year, blocking guys. And I have my perimeter guys, my receivers, my tight ends continue to do their job blocking. We'll be just fine. It's gonna be a bang out though for sure. It's gonna be a bang out.
I've always joked that I don't really, as a receiver, I didn't really like blocking.
Yes,
but when I watch your guys, when I watch Malachi Tony come down inside and pick off safeties consistently in their blocking, you talk about the physicality. We expect that up front. We expect your line to be physical. But somehow you guys have motivated your receivers to block every single play just as hard as the O-line is blocking. What does that do for your team? I know as a team, it brings you closer together when all 11 guys are like, hey, whatever it is you need me to do, I'm here to do. But talk about your receivers and how well they've blocked for you guys.
They're just a selfless group. And this is a selfless team. Like I said before, it's all about, sacrificing things. And they might not want to always block, but shoot, they know they can make all the difference in the winning. And that's the number one goal. We just want to win. So if they just put their pride to the side, they love being fancy, running the routes, doing all that pretty stuff. The one-handers, but they could do both. That just shows how selfless they are, and that carries on to the rest of the team. Like, we got receivers in here coming, like you said, coming and blocking guys, hard as the O-lineman. So when I see, when a running back sees that, or O-lineman see that, they're like, all right, I got to pick my stuff up and keep on going.
Who's getting the workout in around you there? Sounds like somebody's working out.
Yeah, it was on some freshman receivers. They just got here too. They just catching some jugs.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey, I've heard that your mother drives to all your games,
including Cali.
Does she still live in Florida?
Yes, she does.
And just jumps in the car. I'll see you on the other side.
Yes, that's exactly what she does. She gets her a little rental for that weekend, and she just beats the road. She'll have my siblings go with her. So she's not always by herself, but most times she has to take the trip by herself. But she'll have either my brother or my sister tag along with her, and they'll take some time, driving. But she's
What's the longest drive?
I think it was Cali when last year when we went up to
Oh
Cal.
my gosh.
Yeah, she drove Fort Lauderdale to California, and
Wow.
the lady, she just, I don't know, man. I was telling her, I was like, Mom, look, I know you want to come to my game. I want you to come to my games, come support me, but if you don't want to fly, it's okay. Like, you could just watch it. She was like, boy, I'm not hearing that. She was like, I'm not I'll see you there. I'll see you there. I was like, all right.
Wow. That is so cool.
Yeah,
Because even in this
That's
postseason,
amazing. Like how motivating is that for you as a player to
Yeah.
see your mother do that? And you're like, hey, listen, if she's willing to do that to see me do this, how motivating is that for you to go out there and give it everything you have? Because look, your mother drove
Yeah,
across the country. Like, talk about that.
extremely motivating. Extremely motivating. Like, this lady showed up, drove all these hours. Yes, she claims she loves it, but I know that's not an easy thing to do.
Not at
She
all.
just wants to be there for me and support me. Man, I'm about to run this ball so hard. I'm about to block so hard. I'm about to do everything I can. Not only, of course, because I want to win for my teammates, but man, my mama just came here and did all that. Like, I gotta give it my all. She giving it her all. I gotta give it my all too.
well, how exciting is it? She had to go all the way. Let's see, Texas A&M. That's a long drive, College Station and back. She had to go all the way out to Phoenix, Arizona, and back. And now she's driving right down the road,
Right down the
for
street.
championship.
Good 15 minutes, baby. We can handle that.
That's awesome. That is great. Well, we really appreciate you hopping on, man. Really happy for everything you and your squad been able to accomplish. Good luck to you coming up on Monday night. It's going to be a dream come true for you, and wish you the best. And really admire the way you go about your business, man. Just want to wish you luck.
Man,
Good luck, man.
Thank y'all for having me. So nice to meet y'all. So
Great
nice.
to meet you too, man.
Hey, man.
We'll see you this
Yes,
week.
sir. God bless y'all.
God bless you. Well, we got another guy we love.
I'm a fan.
We got another guy.
Now
What
I'm
an
a
effort.
fan.
Yeah, what an effort by his mom to go all the way.
I'm a fan of both now.
Yeah, I want to hug his mom. I want to find her on Monday.
Hey, listen, now I hope that she's not one of the Miami fans that have been yelling at me at the games.
You get people yelling at you.
Oh
at
my
the games?
gosh. I should have asked him where his mother was sitting for the Ole Miss games. They were they were giving it to me.
Why are they yelling at you at the games?
They assume that I hate them because of just the conversation of how the committee conducted their business at the end. And I was like, I don't. So I've had in the hotels, all that kind of stuff. I've had to explain, look, I don't have an allegiance to Notre Dame or Miami. I don't really care either way. But the Miami fans have been ready. Hopefully, his mother was not one of the fans yelling at me, because now I'm a big fan of hers and her son. But it's crazy how that is a motivating factor. Like, your mother is driving to California.
Jeez.
That is a motivating factor of, I'm going to go out here, and if she can do that, then I can put these pads on and go out here and do this. So yeah, that was fun. I've enjoyed talking to the guys that we've had on, and I seriously get off of the interview and say, man, I'm a big fan of that kid.
Yeah.
I hope he
not
only plays well Monday night, but has a long career at the next level.
And if you've watched Miami, they rotate a lot of guys in there. He's number 4. He's their starting running back, and he has had a monster career at Miami. His father passed away, and his mom, I think, I haven't spoken to her, but I would think because he lost his father, I would think that she doesn't want to miss anything.
Absolutely.
She wants to be there, and I don't think she's a big fan of flying. So wherever the game is, I got to get in a car.
Neither am I.
I mean,
I understand. I fully understand. I would like to drive everywhere also. Just don't have the time. But yeah, I'm not a fan of flying.
That's pretty good dedication.
It's
I think
impressive.
his parents can relate that whatever we got to do, we got to do. We just kind of figure it out, but we admire her and what Mark's been able to do. And like I said, we wish him the best on Monday night. It's going to be a challenge. I haven't even looked at the point spread. I have no idea. I assume Indiana.
I think Indiana was 7.
Okay.
I think it was 7 or 7.5, which surprised me.
What do you think?
I'm not surprised that Indiana was favored. 7 to 7.5 feels like a lot. And what we've seen this Miami team do, and what we've seen them and the way they finished at the end of the Ole Miss game, when Miami got the ball back, it didn't feel like there was any doubt that they were going to go make these plays. And I thought they played it very safe in the first couple games with Carson back. Let's not make a mistake. Let's stay outside the hashes. Let's, take care of the football. And then in the Ole Miss game, it was more, let's go play. Let's open it up. Let's start throwing the ball. And it felt like that was the Carson Beck that they went to get from Georgia. That one, the one that we can put the game on your shoulders at the end. Mark Fletcher had a terrific game, 133 yards rushing, I believe. But in the end, the pass plays that Carson Beck made in that last drive to take him down, and of course Malachi Toney just being the athlete and the playmaker he was, I thought that felt different. So it surprises me that it's at 7, and it might be different now. If you got Bear, I'm sure is somewhere around there crunching the numbers. If he's still listening, I'm sure he knows what the true line is.
But I also need to say, as we're watching these highlights, Trinidad Chambliss leads them right down under 4 minutes to go and gives them the go-ahead score. And you're thinking, this kid, what a story he's been. The Ole Miss story with all the drama about Lane Kiffin. And here it is right here, the play that ultimately decides the outcome. They have trips to the left, man coverage. All 3 receivers work left to right. Defenders and man coverage go with them. Nobody's left there on that left side, and Carson, not known for an ability to run, but has that ability, as we saw in that game. But as everybody went left to right, nobody accounted for him. He saw just it open up and just was able to kind of trot into the end zone for the game winner. But Trinidad Chambliss, he had a waiver that was denied, trying to get that extra year. Sounds like, by the way, his agent or attorney, Tom Mars, is still very bullish on being able to get him that extra year. I have no idea the details about it or anything about it, but
people have tried to sue the NCAA and done this thing to try to get an extra year. Does that ever work for anybody? Does that ever turn out that they change their mind and give you a year? So I feel like we've done this thing before where somebody's tried to get an extra year. They get denied, and then it's time to lawyer up and let's see if we can get it done.
Yeah, so, I mean, it happens. I mean, obviously, as you know, it happens a lot, but it seems like whenever it happens now, even the threat of it is an automatic, like, they have you heard the NCAA winning many of these litigations?
If I'm the NCAA, I'm going to step out the way and say, you guys do whatever the heck you want to do. It seems like there's never anything positive said about the NCAA. They're always wrong. They've been wrong for years. People have been chopping at their knees for years, and then we'll say, hey, why didn't the NCAA step in here and fix the portal, fix the NIL, fix the calendar? And it seems like every time they try to get in to fix anything, now we're suing.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know. I just know that whenever there is a threat of litigation, most people involved in intercollegiate athletics right now, they kind of back up and say, we're sorry. And then the player pretty much gets whatever he wants.
Yeah. So what's the NCAA going to do? Keep fighting lawsuits?
Right. But the NCAA did make a ruling, and now I think it's going to go to the state of Mississippi. I don't know all that. I've been doing all this other stuff. I don't know all the details, but I do know Tom Mars feels very confident that he's going to win this case and that Trinidad Chambliss will have an extra year. By the way, we were talking about Bear texting in. Bear is a Miami Hurricane.
Hell yeah.
What's going
Bear
on?
is I haven't seen Bear this excited as an alum. He's kind of, let's face it, after the Nevin Shapiro stuff, Miami obviously went away for a long time. Been some lean years. Mario Cristobal comes back, new president, new AD, new alignment with the leadership, and Miami now has a very focused approach. And here they are, Bear, in a national championship. I know this guy goes all the way back to the early '90 teams when he's got rings.
Yeah, Bear's like, let me in, guys.
Mario and I crossed over a couple of years. My freshman year was '90, and he was there until '92. So we've crossed over. It's kind of funny talking about.
But Bear, just try to put into a thought for people that aren't Miami fans and maybe resent Miami because of the swagger and the this and the that and don't really understand the Miami brand, like in the inside. Like, what has this been like to see this program come back last year, kind of knocking on the door of the playoff, just get left out. This year almost happens again. Their ticket gets punched, and now they go to A&M, one of the toughest, coolest atmospheres, a home playoff game. They find a way to win a close one. They get challenged in Glendale. They answer the bell late there. We just showed that touchdown. And now they're at home playing Indiana, who's been a great story themselves, in a national championship. What's this like truly for Miami people?
It's funny because a lot of the Miami fans and friends that I have in our group chat, we've kind of considered like we've been at war for the last few months from all the college football playoff rankings and where Miami was ranked and behind Notre Dame, and are they going to get in? And then selection day was like, finally the flop happened and they had an opportunity to get in and win. And remember, earlier in the year, the conversation was who's the best team in the country, Miami or Ohio State? And for Miami to be playing their best ball at the end of the year, but macro picture, taking it back. I mean, we were there in 2003 at the Fiesta Bowl. That was the last time. I mean, I guess you could say 2004, the Orange Bowl against Florida State. That was really the last time Miami football really mattered. And it has been a long, rough 20 years of 6 and 7 bowl games in baseball stadiums, missing out on local big recruits. 2017, we kind of had a little bit of fool's gold there where we got the win over Notre Dame and you got to the ACC title game, got blown out by Clemson. And then since then, it's just been down in the dumps as well. And finally, Mario comes in and there's this, look, Mario has taken a ton of crap about his in-game coaching and whatever you want to say. But if it wasn't going to be Mario to bring this program back, where was Miami going to go? It needed to be him. And he did some things at the start that, look, you had to run off the malcontents and you had to rebuild the program, and it got rough. But finally, here we are. And regardless of what happens Monday night, I think everybody in the Miami Hurricane fan family sees the arrow up in terms of the trajectory.
No doubt.
Bear, you are you dabble in the gambling a little bit. Is the 7.5? Is it disrespectful? Did you feel disrespected by Vegas throwing 7.5?
I do.
For Indiana.
I do. I think it was Josh Pate the other day who had someone on from FanDuel, or he brought it up that before the year, Miami would have been a 6.5-point favorite over Indiana, and now you're a 7. It's like a 14-point mid-season adjustment, which is like I've never heard of anything like that. So we'll see. I thought the number against Ohio State was a little bit disrespectful, at like 9.5, and then we saw on game day that number come down. Wouldn't surprise me to see a similar type of move here because look, Miami's already beaten Ohio State as a big dog. They went to A&M and won as a dog. They won the opening game of the year against Notre Dame as a dog. If you look at the Bill Connolly SP Plus numbers, Miami has already beaten 2, 3, 6, and 10 in terms of the power rating, with 10 best power rated teams in the country. So when they bit a dog, they won these games. So they're tested. And look, it's going to be hard. Indiana is a team that doesn't beat themselves. If Miami comes out and plays sloppy, turn the ball over, dumb penalties like they did against Ole Miss, they're going to lose. But if they play the way they did against Ohio State and Texas A&M, where they had 4 penalties and turned the ball over a total of 2 times, then they're going to be right in the game.
Yeah. Bear, what do you envision Monday night? You sent me a text, 25,000 for a great seat per seat, not
Crazy.
for 4. For
Crazy.
4. Yeah, I mean, that's insanity. What's driving that up? I think all the Indiana's going to bring the whole state's coming down.
Yes, totally.
The whole state.
Bear, would you sell your ticket as you answer
Bear
this
would
question?
never sell his ticket.
Would you
Some
sell
will.
your?
No, I would not sell.
Joey would. Joey
out.
would sell
And
25. If you have 4 tickets, that's $100,000.
How many? Is that a what golf course membership? What club could you join for?
Hey, listen, Bear.
Need to
Bear.
get fitting at Pine Valley.
Hey, listen. I know one thing. If you didn't sell, Molly would give you an uppercut. That's what I know.
I was going to say that's like a 3-week villa in Italy or something.
Hey, that if they did sell, I wouldn't blame them. That's all I'm saying.
You know the other ridiculous? I've seen they have these suites there, which I guess it's like 25 seats, all-inclusive food, park, like $1.1 million they're going for. Who the hell has that type of money to spend on that? Not me.
Mark Cuban.
That's true.
Hey, Mark Cuban has.
Well, Miami has some alums that'll spend that, and I'm sure Indiana does as well. Hey, Bear, while you're on here, let's answer a few questions. This is
We'll
what
try.
we like to have some fun. Jake and Ty will fire up a question or two. Joey and I usually, if it's a direct question, I deflect and Joey answers.
You deflect, shocker.
Fletcher's such a cool dude. Is he coming back next year?
I've heard yes. I've heard good news. So they'll have him and they'll have Pringle in there as well. I think Lyle's probably going to be the guy that does leave, but I think with Fletcher and likely Pringle, they're going to be good shape next year.
I should have asked him that. I didn't even know that was a possibility.
Yeah.
I thought he was done.
It is.
Oh, that's strong.
And you think he's coming back?
I think so.
Interesting.
Great kid, by the way. Unbelievable.
Oh, my gosh.
Love talking to the guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Great
I've
guy.
already loved him, and now we love him more, All right, so we think there's a possibility he comes back. What's the best bet, Bear? What do you think the best bet is?
I think it depends on who you're looking at here. If you look at the history of the championship games, it has either been favorite winning and covering or underdog winning outright. So I think it just has to depend on where your mind is going into the game. If you think Indiana is going to continue playing the way they have all year long and in the playoff absolutely annihilating Alabama and Oregon, then you're laying the 7.5 with Indiana. But if you think Miami and the home field kind of has a little something to do with it, and the Miami offensive line might be able to lean on Indiana up front a little bit, then you're probably better off just taking the Canes on the money line.
Well, have you been surprised by what has happened? I mean, much as we're marveling about Miami, Indiana, we've never seen a turnaround like this ever in the history of the sport.
It's Bill Snyder at Kansas State on steroids.
Yeah,
like
that's the only thing I could think of when I thought it was Bill Snyder, but that took
years.
time. Yeah.
And I guess it's a sign of the time in college football. You can turn your roster over quickly. But for him to come in and completely turn it around, he's had a coaching staff together for a while. It's clear their preparation is through the roof. One of the amazing things, and I was driving home from the airport the other night, and I put out, India, it's like they're so well schooled. It's like they know what's coming. And people are interpreting that like me thinking that they're cheating and throwing it out there. And I didn't, but then that kind of blew up. But like they've got 4 interceptions this year on opponents' first or second plays of the game. So they're scouting, and whatever the hell they're doing is unbelievable. They don't commit dumb penalties. They don't turn the ball over. They get off the field on third down. They extend all of those little like coaching things that you need to do to win. Like Nick and Bob and I used to say, like dumb loses more than good wins. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's just incredible to think that they have 0 5-stars in this era of chasing 5 stars, 0 and like 6 4-stars. Most of these guys are chip on the shoulder, want to prove everybody wrong kind of kids, and it's hard not to pull for that. And
I would love to see nowadays. I'd love to see nowadays how many of the 5-stars actually end up playing at the school that recruits them nowadays, because the star system, the 4s, the 5s. And I see it now because of the portal and social media. You see how many 5-stars the next year jump right back in the portal.
1 year.
It is like, it's amazing. A lot of them don't even end up playing at the school that recruited them in the first place.
Yeah.
And I think you really notice that at the quarterback position, where a lot of these 5-stars will go, they'll get the big pay, big check, I'm going to wherever, you don't play. And then it's like, oh, I need to get out of here. And then
why do they recruit quarterbacks? Why recruit? If you're one of these, why recruit a quarterback? They come in, they get their money, they're not starting, they leave. Why not just get it out the portal every year?
And that's the high stakes game that we're in right now. Like you look at me being a Miami alum and fan and kind of knowing the insides of the program. There we go. There's a great question right there.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at what happened with Sam Levitt this morning, going to LSU, I think you would have to assume that Miami will try and convince Ty Simpson to come to Coral Gables, just like Cam Ward was headed to the NFL a couple of years ago until he wasn't. Yeah. Carson Beck was headed to the NFL last year until he wasn't. Now Ty Simpson, I just don't know what his mentality is, unfortunately. Is he that dead set on going to the NFL and probably be in the 30th or 31st pick in the first round, making that rookie scale and get it? Or you want to make probably more than what you would make on your first rookie contract by playing 1 year and then not being any worse than you were this year. So it'll be, I think there are a lot of Miami fans hoping for that right now, and we'll see if that's the way they do get done. Because Miami isn't really recruiting quarterbacks right now, like 5 stars, because of that.
Bear, I want to ask you a quick question about Ty Simpson. Is Ty Simpson, there's rumors he's already declared for the NFL, but we've seen other quarterbacks declare, and then they go into the portal, and next thing you know, I think Cam Ward may have done that when he left Washington State. There you go. People asking where he is. There's your boy. This isn't the Bear.
What's up, Peter?
There he is.
Who was asking? Nobody was asking.
Everyone's asking.
Nobody wants to know.
Yes, they are. So there you go, right there.
Right there.
Peter, please. Do you think Ty Simpson could end up at Miami? Do you think that's a possibility?
I think it would be a possibility. Yeah. Look, if, as I was saying to Joey, like if he's dead set on going to the NFL and moving on to like remember last year, Quinn Ewers turned down a lot of money just to be able to go to the NFL, and he got picked in whatever round he did, and he ultimately wound up starting a game this year with the Dolphins. But I think maybe if you take a macro view and it's all about eventually getting that second contract in the NFL, maybe his better option is to take to whatever Miami, whoever else might be looking for a quarterback, to take that, stay in college 1 more year, have an opportunity to get back to the college football playoff and maybe win a national championship, something that he couldn't do this year because the end of the year didn't go well. We'll see. If I were some of these guys, I would look long and hard. I remember at our Fox football seminar this year, prior to the year, James Franklin was talking about being able to keep his players. And that the portal and NIL really serve that purpose now. Like, why would you go to the NFL when you can now stay in college, make your money, and improve yourself and better yourself for the NFL? So maybe that's something a lot of these guys will consider doing now.
Yeah. I personally think Ty Simpson's not ready to go to the NFL. I think he could use another year of seasoning and a much more opportunity to grow, whether he's wherever he is. I just think I think Dante Moore needs the same thing. I think that at that position you need reps, and sitting under a Matthew Stafford or whoever, an established guy in the NFL. Yeah, you're going to learn in the meetings, but you're going to get mental reps. And when you're out there, the face of a program, the pressure that you have to deal with. Think about Fernando Mendoza, how much he grew. Yeah, was he ready at Cal? Was he the same guy physically? Probably. But how much has he grown by being what this quarterback at Indiana, what he's experienced now when he goes to the NFL? Totally different guy than if you take this year away from him. And I think Moore and Simpson are 2 examples that could benefit from that.
If this Trinidad Chambliss last chance grasp at another year doesn't go his way, like how high are you taking him in the draft?
Yeah,
that was an unbelievable performance.
High.
That was
high.
Ridiculous.
I like him better than some of the other guys we talk about.
So
I know.
I'm taking him after Mendoza.
Yeah. Wow. That high.
Yeah, I'm taking him after Mendoza.
Wow. That's awesome. Bear, thanks for hopping on. Have a great week. We'll probably see you at a dinner down there. We're going down Thursday. Joey, when are you going down?
I'm going down Thursday. I'm going to golf. I'm going to golf.
Yeah.
Golf with Dave.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good. He'll have his hat on.
I'm gonna
hat on.
Yeah,
there he is. There's Joey in Phoenix.
That's me. All I do is hit birdies. There.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Look at this.
I love the waste management stands getting built.
Oh my gosh! Did you put it on the green?
We'll talk about that offline.
Okay.
You see that bunker in front right? That's kind of where that wound up.
Oh, I love it. Bear, thanks for hopping on. We'll text you when we get down there. We'll have to grab a dinner.
I'll be in Sunday. We'll see.
All right, buddy.
All right, big fella.
Good luck to the Canes.
Thank you, bud.
All right. See you, Bear. Joey, I will see you if I can get you off the golf course down in South Florida. We'll hopefully grab a dinner with you, me, and Peter. Make sure he comes. He always we get him fillets when we go to dinners. So
I bet you do.
You'll have to deal with that. All right. Have a great week, everybody. We will hype up this game. Cannot wait to see Miami, Indiana next Monday, a week from today. And we will do a nonstop next Monday for Miami as well. Have a great week. See you guys.